Howdy partners, this is sendz. Remember, outsider, I'll hate you for it, and I'm bringing you another replay sent to me by DoW2R. Him and Nerd Play Games being very awesome about sending me some awesome replays, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So we're going to go ahead and introduce the players here. Over here we have Kurt245, we will call him Kurt, as the Imperial Guard Commissar Lord, who is apparently really drunk or has broken legs and not paying attention to anything. Over here is going to be the Eldar player T-Brew as the Eldar Warlock, going for dim double guardians. And over here we've got Coot, which is the Tyrannid Lictor Alpha, I'm sorry. And over here on the red team, DoW2R is surrounded by my most hated race. I feel for you, bruh. And this is going to be Jangle. Whatever, we're going to call you Jangle. And you are going to be the Eldar Warlock. And this is going to be DoW2R as the Space Marine Apothecary. Could you have seen him as anything else? And this is going to be sendz, the other apparently not aware, drunk, and not building anything player, as the Eldar Warp Spider Exarch. And yep, game's going to be immediately underway here. Nobody has engaged anybody yet. Dat Kurt going to be building up a metric fuck ton of requisition. And yeah, so you can see right here, Coot is going to be engaging. Yep, that is going to be Jangle, and loses a Termagant squad right off the bat. That's pretty difficult to watch, especially when you've got an AFK partner. sendz doing something, at least moving his hero and his guardian squad and getting out a ranger team, which is a fairly interesting choice considering how they are playing against a more blobby style players. Those shots going to be able to easily take out a model in the squad, but they have many models, so not nearly as worth it as if you were trying to shoot down Chaos Marines or regular tactical Marines. But they're going to be coming out here on the field, and they're going to be an absolute pest for the blue team. And I am feeling you guys right now. I am feeling you that I'm trying to tell him to do something to help you guys, and it's just not happening. I'm so sorry. So T-Brew getting out double Guardian, double Banshee, a very heavy tier 1 so far. And Coot, I'm sorry, I just like saying that, sounds so funny. Coot, I'm going to call you Coot. You're Coot. Coming out here, double Termagants, single. I'm guessing he had, maybe, I don't know. Lictor Alpha and the Hormagaunts also getting out a Shrieking Weapon team. Fairly interesting, and I'm guessing the reason why is to help stem the number of units that are going to be coming at them, considering it is going to be a 3v1. Look over here, sendz being a cheesy little jerk, getting out triple Rangers. That is going to be like 3 models every time they shoot. Also, pretty good disruption, knocking down units and whatnot. Jangle going for a Shrieking Cannon weapon team of his own. And this is Blackjack. He is in my lap, and I don't want him in my lap, because the last time he was in my lap, he broke my headset. That would be a really bad time to do this. Grenade going off in the middle, Warlock going down for T-Brew, and that Banshee cutting away at Guardians, but not able to kill enough of them, losing both of his Banshee squads, and that is going to spell almost like the end for this team. And you can see that now Kurt has come back. He has finished Fapster and feels like playing now, and Kurt has a lot of units lined up for production. 4 Ranger squad. sendz, why? Why are you so why? That is horrible. You're a horrible person, sir. I'm just gonna let you know that. You're a horrible person. You're probably gonna go to hell for this many Rangers. Yeah, and you can see over here that Kurt building a metric fuck ton of units. These Rangers all set up right here, ready to shoot anything and everything that come near them. And we'll just watch. We'll just wait. Just see how much damage they do. And incoming enemy fire. Using that disruption to keep that shrieking cannon team from actually doing any damage. And those Rangers will do quite a bit of damage to that Sentinel. But that Sentinel, whoa boy, way overextending. There's no way it's not going to go down. And of course, as I say that, wait a minute. Yep, there you go. See, I called it. Called it. I'm psychic. 4 Ranger teams, and you can see that Jangle over here going to go for Tier 2 as well as DoW2R. DoW2R probably using, I think, the only sensible strategy in this game. The other people just kind of building whatever the hell they want. Kind of weird. But his Apothecary going to do quite a bit of damage and then get on out of there. Getting the Purification Vials because you cannot be DoW2R and not get them, apparently. And yeah, so good line cap all the way down the left side and a steep point hill from on the blue team. Going to be quite difficult for them to come back, assuming they ever do. And watching these guardsmen models just drop like flies, this is hard to watch. This is, yeah, see, this is why they're not that effective. There's 4 of them, and they're still not wiping the squad nearly as well. But still, every time you take a shot and take out a model, that is resources lost for the enemy, as well as combat effectiveness. So, alright, it is probably worth it. But definitely would be more effective versus higher cost models. But, yep, you can see finally blue has a 2-to-1 cap. It's going to start taking out red's points for just a little while here at least. That Lictor Alpha is pissed. It is out for blood, has the adrenal glands, which does not do the same thing as it does for every other unit in this game. It's just going to give it more energy. And with this Warp Spider Exarch and the awesome DoW2R Apothecary, going to be easily able to force him off. With this Devastator team right here, going to be able to suppress literally everything that comes its way, unless those Catachans come by. And you can see that DoW2R being a smarty pants, saying they have a lot of infantry on the field, and the Librarian is really good at dealing with all of those infantry units, as well as a good support commander, sub-commander, I'm sorry, and not shabby in melee at all, using his smite ability, doing a really ton of damage to those units. Those Guardians are goners. Yep. Losing 2 Guardian squads, because why not at this point, and doing a ton of damage. And this Devastator squad really paying for itself, and to support all of his infantry, breaking out the Razorback. Also a good choice because of how much infantry their allies have committed to. A flare from the Commissar Lord's global ability comes off, not really doing anything. And we're going to see a lot of Wraith Guards, a Wraith Lord, and 1 more Ranger squad. Because why not? Sir, I am disappointed in your color scheme. But anyway, something very atypical of things to see from Eldar. Tons of Wraith Guard, Rangers, stuff like that. You know, they're pretty powerful. And also at the same time, I would like to say something that if you get a ton of them, pretty cheesy. So Getting those 5 Ranger squads and a Wraith Lord, not much that's going to be able to take this army on. And he says, well, you know what, I haven't seen what they've been coming out with, and I don't have much in the way of anti-vehicle, so I'm going to bust out a Dreadnought. And you would be right, sir. You would be right to do that, because even if they don't bust out a vehicle, you can bust them with that Dreadnought, and it is totally worth it. That heavy weapons team going down faster than a jackrabbit late for a hot date in the middle of July or something like that. I don't know. And these guardsmen over here getting suppressed almost instantly, going to lose that squad. Yep. And that Wraith Lord coming in, all of a sudden, so scary, going to beat the crap out of Catachans. Loses the Catachan squad, and I think like another 2 Guardians squads or something. And those purification vials, so powerful. You have to be very, very careful. And I'm guessing what happened there was he used Laramann's Blessing, a global ability for the Apothecary that allows him to revive himself and all other allied commanders at the same time, should they be down. Fairly powerful ability. I think it quite underutilized. But yeah, and you can see these double Wraith Guard over here just holding down this spot. Putting down a webway gate, very intelligent maneuver should these guys need to retreat. They can just hop right into that webway gate and be absolutely fine. Rippers coming in, getting squashed like little bugs. Sniped. Congratulations. The Commissar Lord getting himself stuck into something really bad. He doesn't want to be here. And this game is going to come to a close very, very quickly. The red team absolutely sweeping through blue like a scythe through reeds. Forgive me for using an Eldar euphemism. But this game is now over. Now guys, this video can serve as a very, very important lesson. You really should be very careful with your units, overextending them and whatnot. Also, know what units are capable of what. Now, I say that because not very many players are aware that the Apothecary has the Purification Vials, and it acts a lot like the Plague Grenade in that it blows up, does a ton of damage, and then does a damage over time to whatever it hit. Now, that's a pretty devastating thing to a lot of units, especially squads where they have squishier units. They're more susceptible, you know, and they're more susceptible to damage. So that can really, you know, hurt you, and I mean even to the point where you can lose multiple squads simultaneously, and that'll just toss the game right out the window there for you. Also, knowing what units are capable of dealing with what, like those Banshees in the beginning of the game, just trying to run and get into melee with the enemy team, getting just absolutely hammered by all the ranged units before they could even get in and get stuck in and really do the damage that they needed to. And that's kind of how 3v3s really go. It gets wonky. Like, you know, people like to do really, really cheesy strategies, and as you could see in this game, the only person who really didn't do anything cheesy was DoW2R, and that's because he's smart, he watches my videos and knows that even when it seems like you've got an absolute victory on your hands, it is always best to go with the most sensible decision. Getting those scouts out and saving, well, those were the first ones he has, but keeping them alive. They're over here. Didn't give them very much upgrades, didn't feel the need to, I'm guessing, and I can concur with that decision. Tactical Marines over here. Didn't give them any upgrades, didn't really feel a need to. I can concur with that as well. Getting the Devastators out. This is a very good thing to do, especially in 3 versus 3s, because of how many units get blobbed onto the field. It does help for crowd controlling. getting out a Razorback to support his units, using the Sanguine Sword and the Purification Vial. That is, at that point in the game when he decided to get these, that is the point where you decide where you want to go with your strategy. You don't have to follow a set strategy and path. You just have to make your strategy work. And by God, did he ever. That is an orgasm in an explosive jar, and it did fuck up some stuff. Sanguine Chainsword helping his apothecary stay alive, stay in combat, do a lot of damage too. It's very, very, very good. And then he did get the Librarian, and I'm guessing, he ended up losing him on accident, which, it happens. There's quite a lot of units out on the field. You're going to miss a couple of units here and there, and the Apothecary is tough, but it does take quite a lot of damage from ranged fire, and I think that's one of his biggest problems. So, because he saw all the infantry on the field, and that was a sensible decision, and it worked out for him. And getting a Dreadnought out there because of the lack of anti-vehicle weapons or anything like that on the field. Also a good choice regardless if if there was going to be armor on the field or not. But yeah, again, just all around making good, sensible decisions and making a excellent point and lesson out of this game. So that's pretty much all I got to say about this game. Other than dim cheesy Eldar, why you do all the time, why. Anyway, this is sendz. Remember how it's said, or I'll hate you for it, and I'll catch you partners later.